is extremely high volatility now on this FTT coin. So it could be possible just 2 pips now here, applying some pipsing strategy, but it should be done extremely carefully. Let's wait for several minutes and we are starting. Please share your previous week's experience, as usual, what you managed to trade, and the setup of the day for today is FTT USDT. A lot of algorithm and robots are calling the shots now on this coin. So I really prefer, considering what's happening now here, as you see the volatility is extremely high. The FTT is going crazy. As far as the Sam, the head of FTX, announced that they are going to bankruptcy. Sorry. So this here we have some setup. Already had several touches, and I'm waiting for the next touch and the great impulse, the price going to hell. I think it will be the last impulse for this coin. Maybe it will be delisted then, but please be careful and watch it carefully. Before the breakout, a lot of participants are trying to load shorts. The market is extremely volatile. Please be careful. I think it would be even hard to execute your limit orders. Let's try to do this. It's better change the scale up to 30, and let's change to open small position, just to figure out how it would be executing. The price really going mad. So by the way, if you have some ideas and some situations, please share it with us. Don't forget to ask your questions. The situation is extremely interesting. As far we don't know what will be in the end. I'm sure that this is manipulation of Binance, because the head of Binance really want to buy it out for less than $1. I mean the token price for less than $1. So I have quite bad pings. Do you hear me well? And how was your previous week? I hope you stayed in profit. For today, I was waiting for the breakout on GAL, but at the current moment, I think we should miss this out because of all this movement. All this news are really important. But anyway, please, if you're trying to find something to trade, place this setup on your working space. At least we have very clear touches to the level 3 times, and we can find uh, better place for early loading. Let's have a look what we have in order book. So it should be set up. Okay. Don't forget to ask your questions. At least maybe you have some questions of theoretical character. Don't be shy. Here we should place usually much more coins amount bar fill that, because in futures we usually have much more money due to leverages. To make it much more readable, we should apply reduce amounts from 1000 and display the cluster analysis line. Decrease max decimal place in amounts, and it will be much more readable and comfortable. For those who asked how to set up the order books, just making it readable. So it's quite dangerous trying to take longs, but anyway, let's see what is happening here. Absolutely mad movements. I haven't seen such movements for a very long time. This is the second Luna, for real. How do you set leverage in CScalp? The leverage is usually set up in Binance. You should go to Binance, and in the category, in the section derivatives, you just enter, just search your instrument, for example, BTC, and then there you can switch your leverage to maximum, for example, but using it, the leverage itself is usually set up here. Just if the most important thing that you should be registered for about more than 3 months on the Binance, otherwise it will be blocked for you to change leverage. So if you, for example, have maximum leverage, you just filling the volume according to the leverage you would like to use here and use it. Really mad movements. Let's try to place take profit in advance somewhere 1.5, because lower I'm sure it will be extremely difficult to execute our take profit or limit orders. But Tell me everything that I must notice in order book. Oh, it will be quite hard to tell you everything in 1 hour, at least while you are trading scalping, I mean. You should pay a lot of attention to the order book itself, how the limit orders are changing, and you should be able to see a huge player and the participants, where the price is being pushed by limit orders. Comparing it with delta, with this cumulative delta, just um, to consider whether it's enough limit order, whether it's big enough to hold the price, or it's not big enough and it will be the breakout of this limit order. It's quite hard and it will come with the experience. You have to uh, increase your screen time just to trade with small volumes, just to watch the order book. For example, when we are trading breakouts, we should pay a lot of attention to market history. I mean, this section, for example, for right now, this section is extremely crazy. That what should happening before the breakout. But here, this is happening because of the news, because of FTX is going to bankruptcy. So we'll be waiting. Gal USDT is quite calm. BTC, what's happening with BTC? I think it's of great top most important. Top most important is, as I said, your ability to make your order book readable and understandable by yourself. So you should be quite good performed in reading of order book. I mean, for example, you just have set up the clusters, the ticks filtration, and the order book. Just a moment. And it usually depends on the strategy you are applying. Usually we search some graphical setups on the graph, for example, and this is only the first argument for us. If we have, for example, very good setup like we have at Gala here, as you see, this is just the very first argument because we have three multiple touches to the level, and we should find some additional arguments in order book because it's more work, it's more soft analysis. So we switch to order book, and in this point, for example, I prefer searching for the point for early loading. For example, if we have clusters here filled and just a moment, Gala. I will switch to Gala order book. Clusters. You should pay attention to patterns in clusters, the colors of the clusters, the delta, how it's changing, the activity of market trade history, and finally the character of movement in order book. It contains a lot of different aspects from algo trading, some bots that pushing small limit orders under the price, pushing the price higher, to different other bots that usually seen in market trade history here. For example, it pushes a lot of similar volumes. For example, similar parts of 10K every 7 seconds. For example, for about another kind of bot, you should really understand, because it will help you in your analysis. I really expected FTT just to break this level, but taking into account such really mad volatility, it's quite hard to load and to enter with a serious volume. So I really recommend to miss this situation, at least till the moment when. But it's really interesting. I really hoped everything will be okay with altcoins. Loading, it always hits stop loss. Not always, but if you have quite a good point. As for me, 3 attempts to one situation, just 3 attempts. If there were 3 stop loss hit, I miss situation. At least you have very low and controllable risks when you use early loading, because when you load in advance, you should do this with very small volumes, adding some position every 0.5% or 1%, depending on how many potential the price has before the breakout level. So if you have something to trade, please share. Maybe you want to analyze some coins. The market is very strange. My order book, futures order book, just stopped. Just stopped. It usually happens when the volatility is extremely high, when it's going mad. So let's try to launch it again. GAL and FTT are the most my favorite setups for today, but FTT will be missed by me because it's too. I'm really afraid of such movements, and I don't recommend trading this. I think the pipsing strategy will be impossible. And this morning I was waiting for the breakout of higher side of this range. I perceived this part as a liquidity grab when the huge player is loading inside the consolidation. Then he makes price going lower, grabbing some stop losses of those who were trading inside this range. So I was expecting to break the higher level, this one I mean. But all this news spoiled this situation, so I don't know what's expecting now. So I prefer missing this situation as well. I'm also recommend sometimes using this. Really looks like Crypto Armageddon. Look at this. All this is all the portfolio of all the crypto assets, I mean futures of Binance USDT, all of them are absolutely red except some of this. Yeah, the real Armageddon. At least we are scalpers, so the most important thing for us is volatility, not such strong and dangerous like that, because it's exceptional situation as far as the tokens project is about to be closed, to be delisted maybe. So I really, it's better close this trade. And let's find something else. Is delta value in clusters is good support and resistance or trend line or on chart? Delta value is perceived as the indicator of trend, local trend changing. For example, if we have delta changed from just a moment, changed from red to green, for example. So we had several green deltas here in a row. And then all this delta has changed to red. It means that we are considering the local reverse of trend. But it should be stable. For example, stable green delta 4 or 5 in a row has changed to stable red delta. It usually is perceived as one of the signs of local trend changing. And what about the resistance and support? Usually I prefer using points of control in clusters and different patterns in clusters as support and resistance. Usually it works as good as graphical ones, but it could be broken much more often rather than physical level, I mean graphical one. What do you think is the most profitable strategy or daily scalping? I think the most profitable strategy is to be flexible and use both strategies. I mean, for example, sometimes I really use pipsing strategy. Sometimes when it's quite relevant times for breakouts, I use breakouts, and every time as well some losses on futures are being compensated by spot scalping and spot trading, averaging on price for long run. And sorry for some disconnections. I think it's okay now. At least there are many types and categories of strategies. So from my point of view, it's better to combine all of them. Because the markets, whatever you trade, stock exchange, crypto, or other assets, the market is fractal, and there are different stages of market. So bull run, bearish market, the global range, depending on different economical, political background. So each of these stage is characterized by different strategies that working better on such markets on a proper stage than other strategies that are applicable and relevant at another stage. So we use different strategies depending on the stage of the market. For example, now, as you see, breakouts are working extremely bad, very bad, awful. And that's why we should, if we trade breakouts, we should use different hedging strategies. For example, early loading, or if you load just on the breakout, you should take profit in advance on about 0.8 or 1% movement, and you give only 10-30 seconds to the trade, and if there is no realization, you close your trade. So this is your risk management. That is also should be flexible, because I remember the previous August when I don't remember what month it was, when the BTC broke the record and hit the price 67,000. So it was the real bull run. The breakouts was the favorite strategy for everyone, and those who just got used to that strategy and know the other strategies, they fall into depression really after the BTC started falling, after the COVID, after the sanctions. So because the economy is the main basis, and it really affects all the market. So we should be flexible. Is CScalp support hedge mode? What do you mean by hedge mode? By hedging, I imply early loading. It's strange, but some other altcoins are have quite low activity. Maybe all the capital ran into shorting FTT. And let's talk about several words about BTC. I think for now, unfortunately, the road to 12 or even 10,000 is absolutely open, because previously I was thinking about that this point was of great power, because a lot of whales, a lot of huge players are holding this price, because this price is much more closer to their break-even points. Where the price now is the zone of break-even points for many investors, for many of those capitals who invested in Bitcoin from the very beginning. So that's why if the BTC fails to buy all this out, many participants will leave BTC. So it will be drastic, extremely dramatic fall to 12,000, even maybe to 10,000, and so on. However, that was the very first good news, good sign of about the ICP index. The inflation was about 4% I'm not mistaken. So it was against the expected 6%. It was a good sign. But unfortunately, we have some other news about the real war between exchanges. I think if not this situation, the BTC would have been maybe already 22,000. Frankly speaking, I don't know about the hedge mode on Binance, so I can't say. There are a lot of questions about the very interesting situation if BTC finally falls to below 10,000, and many people really believe that the BTC will be bought out from this bottom, and it will be all time only the only way long to refresh 67,000. But I think that if the huge whales will leave Bitcoin, I think it will be the end. The BTC will be around below 10,000 forever, because now no one will let the hamsters to become rich, so on, because a lot of whales the BTC will lost the investment attractiveness for huge capital. So I'm almost sure. What do you think about this? If the BTC falls below 10,000, it will be the end of BTC. And I think the new star will be the Ethereum. So all the altcoins will be pegged to Ethereum. And all these hard times born very strong players, and a lot of altcoins will be scammed, will be delisted, and I'm almost sure in 1 or 2 years the first attempts of crypto regulations will be introduced. So I hope it will be less manipulative then. Somehow the connection is unstable. Sorry, do you hear me well? I hope. Let's try to short FTT. Just another attempt, because it seems to calm down a little bit. Don't forget to subscribe to our setups channel, where professional traders post their thoughts about the market. The description, the link you can find in the description. Look at this delta. You asked this delta showing us that sellers are prevailing. So I really hope that this delta has and it will So let's try to add some volume. What do you think? With a quite short stop loss. Oh, it will be too. Volume. Let's see. I see no any points for entry. Yes, please. I see here quite good level, but was broken. Was broken. So let's watch FTT. The FTT finally is going lower and lower, and I'm almost sure that the breakout will occur. Should I see to previous delta value in higher time frame? I recommend using 5 minutes time frame for delta and for clusters because lower time frame will be giving you a lot of false signals, and higher time frame it's uh, you will be waiting for too long, and you will miss some points. So 5 minutes delta, 5 minutes clusters is ideal option. However, when you are applying pipsing strategy, I mean very short, small trades, as you know, maybe you have already heard about pipsing strategy. It's better use 1 minute time frame and 1 minute clusters time frame. But in other case, I recommend using 5 minute time frame in clusters. If it's stop loss hit, it will be enough for today. For me with FTT, it will be the good sign of quitting this idea to short it. At least the real problem of such situations is that those who are trying to short such a situation, their death before the death of such coins, it will be hard to close such positions because there will be no buyers. There will be no buyers, and it will be high. It will be really hard. If it's about another situation, for example, if it's let's imagine if there is no news about the bankruptcy of FTX, I would prefer waiting the breakout of slope here. But this volatility really spoils any analysis. Please add multiple take profit in CScalp. It's a good idea, but multiple TP could be used as the analog. For example, if you, for example, entered 100 lots, you just place two limit orders. For example, you opened short long position with 100 lots, and multiple take profit for you will be 50 lot here and 50 lot higher, for example. But anyway, if I have some ideas how to make CScalp better, I usually provide this idea to technical support. They are quite responsive, so and maybe your offer will be in the next update, in the next hotfix. So it's enough for me for today. With this coin, it's quite hard to trade it. Oh, I reconnected the futures and my commission was cleared. So let's wait. I would like to miss doggy situation, and let's wait some clear analytical signals from Gala, some clusters, or maybe participant from where we can load in advance, and the BTC. BTC is on the range now, quite inactive. So it's possible to have some long situation. The volumes are quite high. but the activity is not so high. At least you see here the buyers power is prevailing. So maybe it's reasonable to load the first part. For example, our working volume is $500. $500. We will have 5 loadings, so it will be about 3,000 each. Let's try to make the first one. The volumes are quite high, there are many touches to the level. The delta has changed from red to green, so it means that we have some chances that the price will be pushed towards the breakout. Some liquidity grabs is still possible. I mean, quite dramatic fall of price several times just to load the position of each player. But finally, it's about to break this structure. Let's wait. Maybe next time we will talk about the positional trading. I really prefer positional trading as well. Through the CScalp is quite useful. Even for positional trading, we can find extremely well points of entry. I usually prefer market profile trading from market profiles, entering from strong buyer's zone or strong seller's zone when price retests it. Take profit in percent. What do you mean? You can switch to place take profit in percentage. You can use this tool. Order book, show ruler, percent, and that's all. For example, I would like to place 0.5% from the price, from the current price here, and this is my take profit. Sorry, that will be stop loss. It's quite useful. So please give me some feedback on whether it will be interesting for you to talk about positional trading. Maybe next time we will talk about this, and it's extremely interesting and it's quite simple. It's not so nervous like scalping, but it requires the ability to understand the market mechanics. I missed most of the stream. The stream will be available so you can watch it again. It's not a problem. At least we didn't trade anything good, because one part of altcoins is quite inactive, and on this background FTT is going mad, going crazy, so there is no golden middle. That's why we didn't trade anything. Just several attempts. I hope nobody here had any funds on FTX. I hope so. Several months ago, I had somehow the idea crossed my mind that I should diversify my assets between different exchanges. Don't know why, but finally I uh, put some of them on wallets, some of them on Bybit and Binance. But fortunately, I was I was about to register on FTX, but finally I uh, missed this idea. Don't remember why. So now I can say that I'm lucky one that I changed my mind. So it will be a stop loss hit here, and I will be searching for another point to entry, and I think it will be on these extremums. Just to touch this level, load here, and getting higher and higher. So 2 attempts to load in advance left. If all this attempt fail, I will miss this situation. It's all about risk management. Maybe there will be some support in clusters. Let's wait. Usually when there is a concentration of clusters in the lower side, like that, do you see this hammer-like pattern? Usually it will push the price back. So I have 2 minutes left, guys. I have to finish this stream. I hope it was of great use for you. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to trade something because of high volatility and some uncertainty on the market. So see you next time, and next time we'll be talking about positional trading, and I hope we will trade something good, some to grab some good trades. So see you soon and stay in profit.